So guys, welcome to the review of the brand new Haval H6 GT. This car was launched late last year by Haval, which is owned by GWM. This car is still made in China. Hopefully in the near future they'll open a plant here in South Africa and start producing some of these cars. Otherwise, we're gonna start on the outside and then we're gonna go into the inside. I'm gonna show you guys my driving impressions. I'm gonna highlight some of my favorite features and some of my not so favorite features about the car. But hopefully you guys after the video will be able to rate and review my review of the car as well as what you think of the car. Let's get into it. So what's under the hood? 2-liter turbo engine, 325 newtons of torque, as well as 155 kilowatts. Not much of a difference between the normal H6, but this is a GT. It does have the look and feel. The exhaust gives you a bit of joy if you like. But yeah, this is what you get for that sort of power. For such a big car, it's good enough. It moves. When I want the power, I got the power, so I don't think you will also need more. Guys, first things first, let's start with the exterior and the front. I really love the front. It looks really nice and masculine. As you can see in front, they do have that huge Haval sign that you can never miss, because obviously this is one of the vehicles they flex on us with. They've got pretty dope LED premium vision lights there. They've got daylight running lights down there, which is also the indicator, so it's LED. Also, you got proper xenon fog lamps down there. The finish they had on the grille, they've got this massive grille in front. Obviously this is to let the air through to cool off this 2-liter engine that is in here. So this is a 2-liter combustion engine, 2-liter petrol engine. Under the grille you find is a sensor that helps you keep your car in lane. Also your park distance controls on the side. You do have a camera just under the Haval sign there. This is to help you with the 360 camera, so that camera can have a nice peripheral view of your front. So this is not necessarily carbon fiber, but it's a carbon fiber print or pattern that they have on the wrap. So you can see this decal here, or this front side of the bumper is wrapped in this almost carbon fiber finish. But so to give the car a much more sportier feel, they have this lacquer side skirt on the side that almost looks like, I think I've seen this on the M3 CS and M4 CS as well, on that side there. So they also continued that on the side. Obviously they do have the normal plastic that car manufacturers always use. If you want to follow me, this is how I look like from behind. Yes, the back of the Haval H6 GT. As I said, this is an all-wheel drive, so you can see that it's written H64WD 4-wheel drive there. They've got this nice spoiler that I'm seeing, and like I said, the piano black, they really didn't hold back on it. So the same material finish that you're seeing onto the front, they've got that piano black spoiler here, as well as that material that looks like carbon fiber that I saw at the back. I think it's nice, pretty cool. Obviously, if you know the normal H6, you know it's got a nice LED light that runs all the way through the back there, but this car doesn't have that. But they've got these nice looking LED lights that anything running throughout. But I think this is much better. I actually would pick this over the running LED onto the side. Obviously they've got the reflectors on the sides there just to give it a much more mean look, but it's also a safety feature. They do have the same finish on the piano black finish at the top on the spoiler. I think it's a really nice touch. Obviously you know how coupe SUVs look like. They don't give you much space between the windscreen, so you can just imagine when you're inside the car and trying to see at the back, there's not much that you can see. But thanks to the 360 cameras, who needs? So guys, let's talk about the shoes. The car, guys. So this car is wearing size 19. So these are 19-inch rims that are fitted onto 23555 tire profile. So those who understand tire profile will understand that. So these are OEM, so they are original from the factory fitted. So I know a lot of guys out there that like modifying cars. Like I said, as South Africans, we do love to have our signature touch to our cars. I know some guys will try maybe spec it out, have some wider tires and all of that, but I don't think this car needs any of that. So on the side you can see they've continued the same piano black that you've been seeing on the side that I showed you the first time, as well as on the rims they dip those rims into the same piano black. I think it's pretty cool. I think black rims essentially go well with any car that's white, so I think they really do well. So they did really well here. I like them a lot. So I have already spoken about the mirrors, but the mirrors do fold if you like, and the mirrors do have that LED indicator there. They do fold, so when you park your car, you don't necessarily have to press a button somewhere in the car to fold them, but there's a setting somewhere in the system where you can press so that they can fold the mirrors and all of that. So once you press open onto the car, the mirrors will unfold. As you see, they have unfold, and it's just showing off with those LED indicators or LED signals there. So guys, I must mention, if you look at the two windows there, you can see that the window in front is much lighter, and the window at the back, it's got that privacy window tint, which I really love a lot. I've seen this in Range Rovers and other car manufacturers. I think this is pretty cool. But if I was to spec it my way, I would also maybe continue with the very same window tint they have at the back. I will also have it in front. Let's go into the inside. So guys, let's talk about boot space. So let's have a look at the boot. The one thing I love about the tailgate is that it's electronic, it's electric, so you have to just press there and then it will open. Once it opens, it's electronic, so it's really massive. It's really huge. So if you look at it the way it just goes up like that, you can see, like I said, it still gives you that SUV coupe look, which is pretty dope. This is a hair turner, guys. Wherever you go, wherever I drove this car, everybody was just looking at it. Some of them were brave enough to come to me and say, can we see the car on the inside or on the outside? Let's have a look. So this is the inside. So standing here, you can see the whole entire front seats and the back seats as well. The lime green continued there, but we'll show you when I get inside the car. So if you look at here at the back, you do obviously have this that you can remove or pull out, and then it can just slightly roll back there, and then you have this massive boot space here at the back. You can also even roll down the seats, and you will see that now. Guys, you can see this massive load bay that I've just created here at the back, so the seats can easily fold and just come down. There is that divider that you guys saw there. It can be easily removed and be put back. So if you want to roll back the seats, it's also easy. You can just push these up. For a car like these, I would have expected these seats to roll electronically, but it's still okay. I mean, it's not a fussy thing. I'm a bit fussy like that, but I think it's a pretty good car for touring. If you don't have people at the back and it's just you and your partner, or you and a friend, you can just load a whole lot of bags here at the back. And at the boot, you still have a 12-volt socket here, the side where you can charge anything you want. If you want to put a lighter, you can do. And like I said, this is electronic, so if you want to lock it, all you have to do is press onto the key like that, and it will slide down. If you do not want to do that, rather, you can use a second feature right on the boot itself. You can just come here and press that button. It will close if you don't have the keys on you. There we go. Pretty awesome car, if I must say. That's one of the awesome features that I like. Should we jump onto the inside? I don't know what you guys think about the car so far, but I am impressed. I think it's a pretty awesome car, if you ask me. Should we jump onto the inside? I think let's jump onto the inside. Let's show off how things are done in there. So guys, let's talk about the inside of the car. So I'm sitting on the back seat now. I'm not the tallest guy in the room, but this car does offer a pretty decent leg room. I've seen really tall people sit in this car. Also, a bit of headroom is still given there, because you got really tall people like Bo Utsile, so that will come and sit here, and then they have to bend their heads. But yeah, this is also an armrest for the back, but also a drinks holder that you can place your cups there as well. So the GT is also stitched onto the seats. If you see the stitching there onto the seat, is also printed GT. The front headrest as well as the back headrest also have got this lime green stitching that you saw on the brake calipers to give it a much more sportier look. I'll talk about the Alcantara finish when we get into the front seats, and I'll show you that. So if you're sitting on the back seat, what do you see? So if you're sitting in the back seat, this is what you see. Here at the back, you've got charging sockets, USB sockets for the person sitting onto the left and probably the person also sitting onto the right. They each have that. Also, the air conditioning vents, you do have two. I really love this feature. Back in the day, cars didn't have this, especially onto the back seats. This is really dope. So obviously a bit of a socket there. This is where we normally keep whether you want to keep some books or anything like that. I think it's really a nice pocket, especially when you drive it long distances. You want to keep some of your stuff, your handbag or whatever. I think it can easily fit in there. So what's happening in the driver's cabin? Let's see what's up. So that's the one thing you see when you open the driver's cabin. You will see greatness. So this is how the seats look in front. They look pretty flippin' stunning. Look at that Alcantara that I spoke about. This is the lime green that they had on the brake calipers. I love how they didn't overdo it, but they somehow gave you a little hint of you're not in a normal H6, but you're in an H6 GT. And this is exactly how a H6 GT should feel like. So if you see the seats, obviously pretty identical. The GT is also there, the back, GT in front. The lime green is on the centerpiece. The steering, the stitching also is there in the lime green stitching. They have pretty sportier feel. So you don't have a lot of buttons in this car. Buttons that you see in this car is only the buttons there, the buttons back here as well, which is your handbrake, your auto stop start, as well as your gear knob, because this is essentially what a gear knob is in this car. So this car doesn't have a normal gear knob that we're used to that looks like a sticky thingy. So here, when the car is on, you will see you just need to turn this thing to go into reverse, neutral, driving, or manual. So let's talk about the infotainment screen that we're seeing in front of us and what it does and what it has. So you want to know what it has? It has everything in it. Everything. So let's dig into the screen, guys. So into this screen, the minute you turn it on, you will find the radio that you've been playing. So you've got your radio, your music, as well as your AC onto one screen. So usually some cars you would need to press a button to flip the screen into radio, music, and the AC. But in this case, you've got everything in one. So if I press there, it will press, you see, yeah, it will play the radio. So as your Power FM or whatever FM is there, if you go back, you'll play music that you've been playing onto your phone. So I'm connected to Bluetooth to the car with the Apple Play. So this side is the aircon. I also need to mention that the aircon is also here. So if you need to control the aircon wherever, you can't control it anywhere, but you need to just click onto the screen. So these are some of the features that you will find inside there. So the main menu is basically you pressing there, CarPlay, Android Auto if you're using a Samsung or Huawei, your radio, multimedia, and the other stuff. So vehicle settings, either you can come click here or you can just go into the site there. So I usually click there. It'll show you all the intelligent driving, parking, heads up display, comfort, whatever the case that you want. So let's start here at the top. So intelligent driving is that active lane assist that I'll show you when I'm driving, lane assist system, side assist system, traffic sign information, which basically means that the car will be able to identify traffic signs as you drive. If it's a 60 zone, it will pick up the traffic signs outside that this is a 60 zone, and with that it will be able to tell you when you're doing more than 60 that you are over speeding. So basically all the settings that you need when you're driving or when you're parking are onto the system, and I do feel like some of them they should have taken them out and put them elsewhere. So driving is there. The car obviously does ask you there if you want to lock all the doors, speed lock, whatever. Fatigue driving, it's one of those features where the car can identify that your driving patterns have changed, you're probably tired, or yeah, in any case you shouldn't be driving a car when you're really tired or when you're under the influence. So big question, does the car have different driving modes? Yes, it does, and those driving modes are hidden all the way in here. Oh, that's a nice little display animation that they have there at the corner. So when the car is in normal mode, you can switch there. If you want to turn into race mode, it will do that. If you want to drive it in sports mode, it will do that. Also, when you turn it into sports mode, it does switch on the hazards on. I don't know if it switches the hazards on only into the car or even outside, but yeah, we're here to find that. You can drive it eco. It's got 7 driving modes if I'm not mistaken. So it's got normal, sporty, snow, eco, race, sand, and off-road. So you can obviously drive the car off-road because it's an all-wheel drive car, so it does support those functionalities. So also the steering wheel does show that it has some of the features where you can either have it light, comfort, or in sport. So as you can see, the car is really fun packed with features. It's got a lot of features, even though I do feel like they should have at least let some buttons through here so that we can, you know, press whatever if you want to switch to the aircon. But everything is just packed into the screen. If you want to switch your driving modes, you must also press onto the screen. So not so sure about that. So the one thing I feel Haval should have done with this car is the functionality of the driving modes. I don't think that it's wise to put the driving modes into the infotainment system. I feel that when I'm driving and I quickly want to change it into sports or eco or off-road, I should be able to do that without having to go deep into the infotainment system. However, I did find a shortcut on how to switch from different driving modes onto the steering wheel, but I feel that they should have at least had a button somewhere here where if I'm driving and I want to just quickly turn into race mode or turn into comfort or sports, I should be able to just click somewhere. However, I started noticing that if I click this button here, it changes my driving mode, but that also depends on the previous driving mode that I had. So if I click that button, you must just check there, I've clicked it again, now it's back into a normal mode. If I click into the button, it will turn into race mode. That's why you can even see the instrument cluster changing there. I'm still on park though, I'm not driving. Yo, the fuel is gone, guys. I must fill up this car before they take it. Got another USB port down there. You also have another 12 volt socket that you can also use. So you do have 2. There's 1, 2, and another on the other side of the passenger. So another cool feature that I like about the car is that they have seen that cables, especially charging cables, can cause a lot of chaos here at the top. So they have divided the compartment so you can place either your phone here if you want to charge it using a cable and you don't want to put it up there, or you want to put anything else that's available like a handbag. So ladies can put their handbags, but also guys, we do have handbags these days. You can easily place it there, out of sight, out of view, when you're sitting in the car and you're driving, and no one is going to see it but you. So like I said, onto the other side you do have more sockets where you can charge your phone here. You also have a USB port that you can just charge your phone there. You do obviously have your normal cable holder. You do have a storage compartment there. You just click the button, opens up. You can load up some of your bin storage here. You can either decide here to put your cell phone, or you can decide to put anything else that you think you may like. So you can use the space to place your cell phone right there, or you can use this compartment to place anything else that you want. This divider here in the middle helps you carry the cup. So if you've got a milkshake and a coffee or whatever the case may be, you can put them on either side. If you've got something bigger, you can just like close it down, and then you do have another storage compartment. This looks much more practical for a cell phone if it's not there charging. But otherwise, it's a push to start car. You just need to push to that button, get into the car, push the button, and then you should be good. You have your sunglass pocket here at the top. You can just place your sunglasses there and look pretty cool. The car has panoramic sunroof. I know that is a big winner in the South African market. So the car has a panoramic sunroof, and this is how it looks like when it's open. It's just open, the cover is just open, not necessarily the whole entire sunroof, but you need to press there to open it up and close it up. So now I'm closing it up. The sunroof is not necessarily as huge as the H6 one looks like, because this is a coupe. This one can't go all the way to the back, but it can go to the back like that. So it's really pretty decent. The glass does open, it can tilt like that, or you can just press the button and just push the sunroof to open its entirety or entirely like that. So it's open and you can just press the buttons again to close it up. So we're just going to close it up because it's a bit hot now. So there is a lot of people who have been debating about this car and what the car can do. So this car, when it's on race mode, it sparked a lot of debate online, but a lot of people really loved how it sounds. So let's hear how it sounds on race mode versus normal mode. That is how the car sounds when it's on normal mode. Now, race mode. So those are the two driving modes that do show like a significant difference between the two. When it's on sport mode, doesn't really change the sound that much, but when it's on race mode, you can feel it from the inside, you can hear it from the inside, also from the outside. So now I'm driving the car in race mode. You must just listen. So the exhaust does give you a bit much more baritone, if you like, when you're driving in race mode. But to be honest, like I said, I don't know if it sounds faster on the outside and just feels not so fast on the inside. But I don't think it's a car that should be driven in such modes all the time. Just drive it on normal mode, because for me it doesn't make sense. If it was really quick, then yes, you can drive it in race mode and in manual mode, but it's not a car that you can do such things with. But like I said, yeah, I think it's a particularly great car. Sunroof comes, so everything that you're seeing on this car comes standard with the car. There's no feature that you need to pay extra, and that's one thing the Chinese have always been good at, is that the features that we pay for in mostly the German vehicles and other car manufacturers, here you get them base and you get them standard, and I like that. So yeah, I've been driving for an hour and 10 minutes, and my average consumption per 100 kilometers for today, so my best for about 1 hour of driving is about 8.1 liters per 100 k's. It's adaptive cruise control. Sorry, what simply means is that when you're driving the car and there is a car in front of you that's driving at a lower speed than you, in a normal car that doesn't have adaptive cruise control, you as the driver will have to put your foot on the brakes to reduce the speed or to cancel off the cruise control. So in this car, I don't have to put my feet onto the pedals or on the brake, because the car will do that by itself. Another cool feature, driving feature, that is if I let go of the steering wheel, it steers itself into the lane like it's doing now. This is a curve, but after a while it will pick up that I don't have my hands on the steering wheel. It'll ask me to keep my hands on the steering wheel, and I have just done that. I don't always use the feature because sometimes it gets a bit finicky, especially when you're driving on roads that have poor road markings. Well, it can't pick up exactly where the lane is, where does it stop, where does it end. So 629,000 gives you the GT, which is about 40,000 rand more than the normal H6, and the kilowatts, it gives you 5 kilowatts more and about 5 newtons more. So it doesn't give you a much more power or torque. It just gives you slightly more, but it doesn't really make much of a difference, especially in such a big car. But like I said, it does feel like a car that you can buy, because this segment is occupied by obviously the RAV4. It's also occupied by the VW Tiguan, and you're looking at getting a compact SUV that looks masculine. I think this is the car for you. But I think more than anything, this is a car, if you want an everyday car to drop off the kids, or you want an everyday car that looks pretty awesome, because the H6 doesn't look as dope as this one. It's still a beautiful car, but this looks dope. It will turn heads everywhere you go. Everywhere I went with this car, I've been driving it for 7 days now. Everywhere I went, people just look, because it's just an interestingly looking car. Some say it looks like a Lamborghini Urus. So the car is got 7 airbags, just one more airbag than the normal H6. So you got your normal curtain airbags, you got your front airbags, and I think on the safety side it does tick a lot of boxes. It was tested at one of those Australian testing places where they test the durability of the car, as well as checking how safe it is, and the car got 5 stars. So I think this is really good. That was the review of the brand new Haval H6 GT. So I would suggest that you go onto Haval website or GWM website, or go to the dealership and try book a test drive. I think it's a good car. I hope you enjoyed the review and how I unpacked it. Please do feel free to add on to the comments how you think I can improve the content. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much. If you like what you see, please do click like and subscribe, as well as share the content. You can click the notification bell so you can get notified. We do have other content other than cars onto this channel, but I really appreciate you watching this up until the end. Thank you so much. This is the Haval H6 GT. It comes at 629,000 at 155 kilowatts, 325 newtons, and I think you don't need more than that, because the car does move. And I hope to see you again here next time. Sharp.